Okay. So we have our pin and our sphere. So what we need to do is we need to take our compass and move this move the radius of this out to the side of the bowling pin. So that would be the center of the fake sphere. So we know that because this is the finished position in front elevation, well then it's going to be the finished position in plan. So we'll bring it straight down. That's one step that we can do. Moving or rotating the sphere out to the extreme generator, the side-by-side position, gives us this fake center point here. Again, it's in a position that is at the extreme generator or a side-by-side position, so we bring it to its side-by-side position, and then we're going to rotate that round the bowling pin. And then wherever it meets that vertical position is its finished position. So this is part A of the question. So just transferring that information in plan view. Now when I draw this, it should touch the plan view of the circle. Let me just make sure I have the right side. This compass is quite poor, so I just want to make sure I have the right. Yeah, I'm not drawing it properly at all. Ah. So, compass fixed, we will take the radius of this and pop it down here. Now, I'm just going to rotate this because my compass that I was using was poor, so I'm going to okay, so that's our sphere, and our bowling ball is in contact with the sphere, circle by circle, and we want to find the point of contact as well. So we'll join the center of one to the center of the other. The point of contact has to be somewhere along the line. The point of contact is going to be here, POC, and we'll bring that up to our front elevation view there, and that's going to be POC as well. Okay, now draw the plan of a right cylinder which stands upright on the horizontal plane. The top of the cylinder touches the point or the pin at point P and also touches the ball. So it doesn't tell us the size of this. It doesn't tell us the size of the cylinder. We do know the height of it though. It goes from here out to the extreme generator. We'll bring that down. And we know that P is located here. Okay, so this is P, and P1, I'm going to call it P1, is the fake position. Okay, is here. We understand that? Yeah. Now, the thing about this is we know that it touches this point, and we know that it has to touch this sphere as well, but we don't know where. Okay, so what we're going to do is for this extreme generator, I'm going to go out this way, and for this extreme generator, I'm going to go in blue and go out this way. Okay, and what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to assume for every single size of radius of cylinder. Now, what would be the smallest size of cylinder that you might start with if you're assuming it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows? Kayla? What size might I start for a radius of a cylinder to start with? What would be a nice number on our set or whatever to start with? 10 millimeters. Okay? So I'll step out 10 millimeters, adding on a radius of 10 millimeters onto this sphere. Do you understand that? Okay? And I'm going to do the exact same thing here for my pin. I'm going to add on 10 millimeters to the outside. And I'm going to swing 2 arcs so that I'm swinging around the bowling pin plus a radius of 10. I'm going to swing around the bowling ball plus a radius of 10. Does that make sense? Yeah? Like so. And then I might go 15. Come in. Come in. Hello. So what this is called the loci method, okay? And you're generating. Can you imagine if I had a cylinder here that was 0 size, 0 radius? It would sit right in there, in between the two of them. And then as it grows, I'm going to add actually 5 millimeters onto the outside of this bowling pin. I'm going to add 5 millimeters onto the outside of the bowling ball. Okay? I'm going to swing them around to meet each other. So this one here swings around there, and then the bowling pin plus 5 swings around here, and the two of them meet there. And I'm going to put in these little dots. Okay, so I have 2 dots. I have 3 dots actually. I have the POC, which is 0, a size of 0. Yes, you understand that? Something that doesn't exist, 0, 0 in radius. And then that's a cylinder that was 5 in radius. That would be the center point of that cylinder. Do you understand? And then this would be the point of a cylinder that would be 10 millimeter in radius. It would touch this, this pin and this ball. To put this into context, okay, and to try to make it a little bit relatable, I have bowling, let's just say this is the bowling ball, and that's the pin. Okay? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to assume that my new cylinder grows in size. So that would be the center point of a sphere that would be whatever size, we'll say 5 millimeters. This would be the center point of a sphere that would be 10 millimeters in size. And this would be the center point of a sphere that would be 15 or 20 millimeters in size. Do you understand what I'm doing? I'm making this cylinder grow and grow and grow until I know when to stop. Yeah? Okay? So that's what I'm doing. I'm growing this cylinder because these two have to stay in place, and whatever shape I come in, it has to touch this sphere and it has to touch that bowling pin. So I'm swinging this around until it stops, swinging this around until it stops, and that will be its finished position. That's what I'm doing here in this exercise. Okay, so this dot is a 5 millimeter radius added on to the sphere, 5 millimeter radius added on to the cylinder. We keep doing that for 4 or 5 points. And after you do 4 or 5, you will have a path that will be enough. I'll go 2 more, and on this one I'll go 2 more. 1, 2. And I'm just going to make them meet each other with my compass. And this is why it's important to have good sharp tools, good sharp pencils, good sharp compass, because these are the ones that are going to make the difference in getting this accurate. Okay, that's another point. And then we'll add my last one on here, which is an added radius of 20. And over here we have an added radius of 20 also. And this is what we call the loci. Okay? Loci, whatever you want to call it. I always think of it. Do you know Loki from the Marvel films? Yeah? Thor's brother. So that's what this is. So this is our part going from 0 thickness to 5 millimeters thickness to 10 millimeters to 15 to 20. You're creating a path. Okay? It how do I know on that path where to stop? What information did it tell us in the question? It said that the top of the cylinder touches the pin at point P. So what do we know in that sentence that we can use? Kaylee, you look like you've solved it. Your face is like a light bulb lighting up. Yes, I know what to do here. Okay. Anybody? Kaylon? So this is the pin. We know it has to touch point P. So where's the center point of the new cylinder? Just read this sentence. The top of the cylinder touches the pin at point P. So let's look at that in plan view. There's the cylinder. There's point P. What can I do? What's a step or a technique that I can do to find the center point of my new cylinder? Yes, Dylan? No. Anybody? What did I do here? If I call this C1 and C2, what's on C1 to C2? There's C1, there's C2. What's on it? Point of contact, isn't it? So center of one's object, point of contact, center of the other are all in a straight line, aren't they? Which one of those in the equation am I missing? Center 1, P. I'm missing C3, haven't I? But if I join C1 through P, well, C3 has to be somewhere on that, doesn't it? And what I now have is I have rule of one thing meeting the rule of another thing. Means that this is a center point, C3. And if I set my compass to this radius, it should touch the bowling. It should touch the bowling ball at one point. It keeps moving and spinning on me. So there is my new cylinder. If I just apply a little bit of colour to this to make it stand out. This is the new cylinder. And the new information, the one piece of new information that I'm doing is assuming a growing cylinder. So I find the information for a cylinder that has 5mm radius. I find this information for a cylinder that has 10mm radius, and for 15 and for 20. And that gives me a path going from 0 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20. That's one rule. And when the other rule, C1 to C3 and P is on the path of that, meet, gives me our finished position. Okay, and I'm just going to write this in here that this is our loci. All right, now I'm not finished the question because I have to find this in front elevation also. So I'm going to bring this up. Okay, we do have our compass set to the radius of it already. I could also draw the extreme generator here. Join center 2 to center 3. I have my compass set to the radius of it, so I can draw it positioned like so. So my new cylinder is positioned there. I hope that makes sense, does it?